Yeah. What is Big Daddy about?
Big Daddy. It's about a man who, he's a 32-year-old guy, hangs out with his friends all the time, doesn't really want to. He went to law school, doesn't want to be a lawyer because that would require a 9 to 5 kind of day for him. He likes doing, he likes when he wakes up, he can do anything he wants that day, that kind of guy. And this child is brought into his life, and he realizes that he can't have the old lifestyle he had. He has to adapt to this kid's schedule, and it's about a guy growing up because he's forced into it, and then realizing that growing up's not too bad. He's similar to myself in a lot of ways. I have a difficult time with. My whole life, if someone says you have to do something, I've always gone the other way. When my mother said, go brush your teeth, for some reason I didn't brush them. But when she didn't say anything, I went into the room and brushed my teeth that night. I've been that way my whole life, always doing the opposite. And when you have a child, you have to take care of that kid. And I think my character doesn't want to be forced into that, and he doesn't want this kid to grow up feeling that the kid has to do anything. So he starts telling the child that you do what you want, I'll do what I want, we'll be happy, And then he realizes that's not the way it works. That's not the way you have to be responsible when you have a child. A lot of the scenes and a lot of the relationships are from my real life and the way my father dealt with me and the way he loved me and took care of me and tried to make me laugh, and so we incorporated that into the movie. Wow, he learned about waking up in the morning and actually having something. I think it gave him accomplishment. The way that my character was living, it kind of felt like he was drifting. He said he made the choice to drift, but still at the end of the day, it was just all he could do was go to sleep and say, tomorrow I'm going to drift again. I think once he had the child and committed to that responsibility, it made him feel better as a person. It's to get the girlfriend. He has a girlfriend who's saying, you're not growing up, you don't have a job, you don't have this, you don't have that, and so it's his way to say, I do want to grow up here. Look, I have a kid. And instead of going out and getting a job like everyone else would do, he gets himself into that jam, and the girlfriend doesn't buy it. I sit in the room with my friends, and we sit around my dining room table a lot of times, or we go to an office and type and just come up with ideas, think about what went on in our lives. Think about what makes us laugh. I talked to my dad, I talked to my brother. My brother has kids, so I would ask my brother a lot of questions about what went on with his day, and I would visit my brother and hang out with his kids. Came up with a lot of ideas from that. The scene in the movie where where we're playing cards and the kid always wins no matter what. That was when I played with my nephew Jared. I was playing cards with him, and he kept saying, I win, and I'd say, now why did you win there? I thought that's the same cards I had last time, and I didn't win, and he would just say, I win, and then I found out my father told me that little Jared's learning how to be a cheater. Yeah, I always have people in mind that I'd like to play the parts, and this movie, actually, everybody we wrote it for did it. Makes life easier as a writer to think about it. Most of the people in the movie are my friends, guys I grew up with, or guys who I hang out with all the time. Well, I kind of eased into it, I've been working on television shows and stuff like that since I'm 19. So it was like, and I'm 32 now, so it's been a slow, steady process and something I know that's my life. I'm not, walking down the street and getting chased by people. I'm not that type of famous. People hardly notice me, But, you know, if people recognize me on the street, they say, "Hi, Adam," and I say, "How you doing?" And that's about it. Or they'll talk about my movie or talk about something they saw me do. And it's fun to hear comments if it's positive. And then on occasion I hear, "Hey, Adam, you suck." And I say, "All right, good to see you." It's the studio. I think there's a little competition going on in town, like, you know, how much money so-and-so's movie is going to make compared to your movie. I think it, no matter what, it's just, I'm just excited I'm getting to make the movies. If I fall into that trap of worrying about how much they're going to make, I'm going to kill myself over that. Yeah, you know, that can't be good for your, that guarantees me an ulcer. And I don't want one of those, so I try to step outside of that.